Oh yeah, nice one. Eccoci qua, come vi ho annunciato oggi, ho il piacere di avere uno degli artisti di maggiore successo al mondo oggi, Ed Sheeran, come vede accanto a me, con il suo ultimo CD, X, ovvero Multiply, moltiplicare in italiano, ha già venduto 6 milioni di copie, che è pari a 1 milione al mese da quando il suo disco è uscito. È stato mio ospite nel gennaio del 2012 con l'album Plus, ma in quel tempo non era molto conosciuto in Italia e da allora lui è diventato una superstar in tutto il mondo e sono molto felice di rivederlo e portarlo da noi su Radio Monte Carlo, ma prima di tutto voglio chiedergli come è cambiato la sua vita negli ultimi 3 anni da quando ci siamo incontrati l'ultima volta. Hello Ed Sheeran, welcome back to Radio Monte Carlo.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Nice. I'm cool, I'm very happy. It's nice to see you again. Well, I was just saying to our listeners, I mean, we met in 2012 when in Italy you were quite unknown, you know, but people were liking your music. And since then, man, you've just become like a superstar around the world. So like in the last 3 years, your dreams come true.
Yeah, it's been quite a weird thing that I think in Europe especially, people wait for the second album to decide whether they like an artist. Like England and America and Australia are very sort of like instant. So the first album, if they get it, they get it. But I've found in Italy, Germany, France, Switzerland, Norway, Denmark, it's the second album that's really kind of taken me to the next level. So I feel I'm just excited to release the third album now to see what happens. I think the more albums you release, the more they get to know you as an artist.
So your first album was Plus, then this one is Multiply, the next one? Mathematical terms. You like these symbols for the titles.
Well, I'm surprised no one's done it yet. So yeah.
Okay. So I mean, has your life changed a lot? Do you feel a lot different? I mean, with all the work and the success that you're having, or you try and keep your feet on the ground?
Yeah, well, do you know what? It hasn't really changed. The only thing that's changed is the venue size. You know, that as a human being, like I don't live a very lavish lifestyle anyway, so that side of things hasn't really changed at all. I still live in the same house, I've got the same friends, I eat the same food, go to the same pubs, like that hasn't really changed. The only thing's really changed is the venues are bigger. I'm still doing the same amount of promo, I'm still traveling the same amount, it's just the venues are bigger, and I have more respect from people, which is weird. People, I'm no longer looked at as he won't be around that long. It's now people, I'm a legitimate artist now, so it's good.
Wonderful. I'm talking about you living in the same house and that. I saw an article in the Daily Mail, was a photo of you busking when you must have been about 15 or something, where it says that you were living in a tube for a while, you had no money, and you were drinking all the time until you met someone who changed your life around. Is that a true story, or is it a journalist hype?
I mean, he's made it sound a lot worse than it was, but yeah, it's essentially true, yeah.
Ed, what comes to mind when you think about Italy? What do you conjure up in your head?
Well, for me, I love food, so and Italian food is my favourite sort of food. I don't know. I've recently got very into Italian television. I watched all of Gomorra and Romanzo Criminale, which I really enjoyed. Really enjoyed. My brother lived in Rome for like 2 years, so you know I spent quite a bit of time here. I think Venice is a beautiful place. What else? I don't really know.
What about Sanremo? I heard the news that you're going to be one of the super guests at Sanremo. Do you know anything about it? Or do you know any Italian musicians too? Any singers?
Who did I meet yesterday? Laura Pausini, yeah. Yeah, so she came to my show yesterday. So I met her. Yeah, I don't really know. I think
it's a super show.
Yeah, I've been told a lot about the show, but until I get there, I won't really know what it's like. But I'm excited to play it. I'm really excited to play it. I just think, you know, it's so nice to come to Italy and have people this interested, you know.
Talking about your last album, Multiply, though, you collaborated with lots of different writers and artists and producers. How important is that for you on that record? You know, with the work that you did as a team rather than, you know, you're being a songwriter on your own. How did that change, you know, what you wrote?
Well, I mean, it was more of a collaborative effort and experimenting than the last record, because I had people like Pharrell and Rick Rubin ringing me up and saying, let's do something. So it was more of a, okay, let's try that out. It was a bit more experimental, and yeah, some stuff that I wouldn't have done on my own came out of it. So I think that's always a positive thing.
Well, you're really on the ball when you with with the song "Singing" with Pharrell, right? His right moment and getting you at the right moment. How is he?
He's great. He's great. Yeah, he's just an interesting character, man. He's like, he's got specific ideas of artists that he wants to work with and what he wants to do for them. So his thing with me was like, he was like, now you like a singer-songwriter, you like James Taylor, Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan, I love James Taylor. But you ain't ever made nobody dance. So what you need to do is make people dance. So that's the basis that we started on. But his idea and other stuff was, he was like, see someone like Katy Perry, she should be doing that doo-wop 60s stuff. I'm walking on sunshine. And like that idea would work for Katy Perry like so well. So if he just gets his hands on the right artist, he has the good ideas.
Hey, also congratulations on your Grammy nominations this year. I think 3 nominations. Then also after that you got the Brit Awards, so another 4 nominations, which is phenomenal. I mean, you're only 23, and I mean, when you were in London busking and dreaming, did you ever dream that you would be living what you were dreaming about as a kid?
Yeah, I never dreamed about Brit or Grammy nominations though. Yeah, I think my dream was to always play venues like this and sell albums. So yeah, the Brits and Grammys are great, but you know they often get it wrong. And I'm not saying I would be right. I'm just saying that awards don't necessarily matter. I was speaking to Bruno Mars after the Grammys last year, and he was a bit upset that he hadn't won a certain award. And I was like, but you're playing the Super Bowl next week, which is the biggest thing you could do on American TV. And that I'd much rather play the Super Bowl than win a Grammy. I think, imagine how many people have won Grammys that you've never heard of, and imagine how many people have played the Super Bowl. So I'm not like, you know, obviously I'd love to win one. It'd be great. I'd put it on my mantelpiece. My mum would be very proud. It would be that kind of thing. But I'd much rather play on the Grammys and have people see it and buy the record and then come to a show rather than just having a piece of metal. So although it's a fantastic thing to happen, I'm that thing that has made me happiest about it is it gets my name out there a bit more, rather than actually having the recognition of a panel of people that vote for it. It's that the general public are going to see my name on there. They're going to see me on TV, and they're going to discover the music through that. So that's what I'm happy about.
Okay, so what comes out from you just listening to you talking is that the thing that you love most is being with your guitar, being on stage in front of a crowd, yeah?
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, awards have never come to a show. You know, a physical award are not going to pay tickets to come and watch you. They're not going to listen to your album and feel changed by it or moved or anything. It's just something to put on the mantelpiece that tells you that you're good. But I've got 12,000 people out there that are already going to do that. So it's, you know, I like the whole idea of award shows. It boosts your ego for the night. It's very fun. You know, it's nice. You can get drunk, have a good time with your family and friends. But it's like, it's just a glorified pat on the back. It's not anything more than that.
I was reading, I don't know if it's true, but after the Grammys, that you're going to be part of the Stevie Wonder special,
yes.
Songs in the Key of Life. Wow!
Except the song I'm doing isn't on Songs in the Key of Life, no. But I think the whole thing is just Stevie Wonder songs in the Key of Life. It's not specifically the album.
I mean, are you a fan of Stevie?
Yeah, I personally think, sorry. Sorry, man. I personally think that Stevie is the best that has ever lived. I think you could put the best 5 Stevie songs up against the best 5 Jackson, or the best 5 Bob Dylan, the best 5 Beatles, and Stevie would always trump it. And then he plays piano, drums, guitar, harmonica, and sings, and he's blind. So he is wow. He is the best out of everyone.
And talking about your songs too, you write a lot of music, and I've been seeing that you've been writing a lot for other artists too. I mean, 2 questions about your songwriting. When do you write best, and what's the hardest part, the lyrics or the melody?
I think that the melody, finding a cool melody, because melody is the thing that stick in someone's head. You know, lyrics always just fall into the melody, and yeah. So I'd say the melody definitely, and I'd say the best time to write is when there's no distractions. You have to switch your phone off, switch your laptop off, just be in a room and just go for it. But you have to kind of feel the need to do that. There's no point doing it and then just sitting there and not having anything to write about. If you get an idea, put everything to the side and then finish it.
When we met the last time, remember some of your first heroes were people like Damien Rice, Van Morrison, Elton John. What about today what's in today's music scene? What excites you? There's a lot of music out there. What gets to you?
Ryan, who's opening up for me tonight, is fantastic. I've known him for about 5, maybe even 6 years now. Bloody hell, a long time. But he's one of the best singer-songwriters on the scene in London. So it's a pleasure to be able to bring him out on tour. I'd say him. He excites me.
Look, before we go, if you were to choose one track from Multiply that would represent you, if you were to go and say, I'm a singer-songwriter, what song would you present?
I think Thinking Out Loud. Yeah, I think, that's such a fun song to sing. People seem to dig it. I'd say that one, yeah. That's my favourite song on the album.
Wonderful. In diretto su Radio Monte Carlo con Nick The Nightfly, grande Ed Sheeran. Thanks very much, Ed.
Thank you, nice one.
Nice too.